best places to visit in the UK. Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Why the Fact Not coming to all of you with a brand new video. Consisting of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom UK has long been one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. For most travellers, like me, the country's appeal has as much to do with its diverse scenery as it does its rich cultural heritage. In fact, the best places to visit in the UK include everything from beautifully preserved country estates and picturesque castles to its many big city art galleries. With my list of the best places to visit in the UK, and you'll have no problem making the most of your time. Here are my list of places to visit in the UK. Starting with this list is number 1, London. The UK's all-in-one destination. While it's possible to plan a trip to the UK without actually visiting London, it's certainly not a recommendation I'd make. I typically begin my UK visits by spending a few days in the nation's sprawling capital while getting over my jet lag before venturing out to my planned final destination, or destinations. There are plenty of attractions to keep you busy. Want to learn more about the UK's rich history? You're literally spoiled for choice here, as London boasts more than 200 world-class museums and art galleries to explore. In the City of London, the heart of the old Roman city, you'll find evidence of pretty much every period in history ever since. Some of the top attractions in London are located here, including the Tower of London. Located beside the spectacular Tower Bridge on the banks of the River Thames, this former palace and prison includes highlights such as the iconic 1,000-year-old White Tower, with its fascinating displays of armor and weaponry, and the Jewel House, home to the crown jewels. I always make a return visit at sunrise or sunset to grab an iconic photo of the Tower of London framed by Tower Bridge. If you're a fan of Britain's royal family, you'll want to head to Buckingham Palace, London's royal home since Queen Victoria's reign. Here, you can enjoy the colourful pomp of the changing of the guard or even take a tour of the palace's state rooms. Spaces are limited, so be sure to book in advance as they are only open for a few weeks each year. From here you can wander along the Thames to the city's Whitehall Road area. Here you'll find Big Ben and the Parliament buildings, as well as Westminster Abbey, the scene of many a royal wedding. Another area to visit in London is South Kensington, home to the city's best museums, including the Victoria and Albert Museum and the Natural History Museum, as well as the famous Harrods department store. Also check out Trafalgar Square, home to the iconic Nelson's Column and the National Portrait Gallery. And be sure to make the most of London's excellent transport system. Whether you go by bus or by underground, the system's now so good that you can simply use a debit or credit card to tap in and out as you go. It really is very easy, and once you've mastered that famous map of the city's tube network, you'll be travelling like a Londoner. Number 2, Edinburgh, Scotland's capital, one of the UK's most attractive cities. The capital city of Edinburgh is also one of the UK's most visited destinations. Popular for its many well-preserved historic buildings, Edinburgh is perhaps best known as the home of the majestic Edinburgh Castle. Perched high above the old city on a rocky promontory, this 13th century royal fortress includes highlights such as the famous 1 o'clock salute, held daily at Half Moon Battery, as well as the Scottish crown jewels in the Royal Palace. Also worth seeing are the Scottish National War Memorial and the famous Stone of Destiny, the Stone of Scone, which only returned to Scotland after being held for 700 years in London. From the castle, I always find it easy to explore the other most important historic sites in the city. Follow your nose downhill from the castle to the old town via the famous Royal Mile, a delightful medieval cobbled street that's immensely fun to walk. Sure, there are plenty of the usual tacky tourist and souvenir shops, but skip these and look out for the area's fine old architecture, boutique shops, cafes, and restaurants, as well as trendy art galleries and studios. It's also where you'll find attractions, such as the Royal Botanical Garden and the National Gallery of Scotland. Number 3, Roman-era Bath. Although one of the UK's smaller cities, Bath more than makes up for its diminutive size with a multitude of things to see and do. Named after its famous Roman baths, this beautiful city has been luring visitors like you and me to its healing waters for more than 2,000 years. Gushing from 3 hot springs, the water known to consist of 43 different minerals, hence its curative properties, travels upwards some 3,048 meters at a rate of 275,000 gallons per day, before spilling, out at a consistent 46.5 degrees Celsius. It's a truly awesome sight, and also a little eerie to think that you're standing just feet away from the very hot springs that Romans and early Britons enjoyed some 2,000 years before you got here. While it's not possible to bathe in the original Roman baths, try it and you'll be arrested. A number of nearby spas, most notably the modern Thmea Bath Spa, offer a unique opportunity to enjoy the city's famous waters. This must-do experience features a stunning rooftop pool using the same waters as the Roman baths, and all with incredible views of city landmarks such as Bath Abbey. Number 4. Ancient Stonehenge and Medieval Salisbury. One of the planet's oldest World Heritage Sites, Stonehenge has been a place of pilgrimage for more than 4,500 years. It was believed to have been erected as a place of worship, but these days, the crowds consist of tourists drawn by the sheer scale of this magnificent monument to mankind's ingenuity. It's a sprawling site, covering an area of more than 20 square kilometers and boasting a state-of-the-art visitor center. Here, you can catch a fascinating glimpse not only into the construction of Stonehenge, but also its history since then. But it does get busy, so be sure to plan well ahead and purchase a timed ticket for the day of your visit. Better still, splurge a little on one of the attraction's new VIP admission packages. This unforgettable experience guarantees your spot on a fun stone circle experience that includes free time to wander the site on your own. The verdict? It's a must-do. Be sure to also spend time exploring the nearby medieval city of Salisbury, located just 16 kilometers south of Stonehenge. You'll be rewarded with a chance to visit one of the country's most famous cathedrals, dating back to 1220 and home to an original Magna Carta. Afterward, spend time wandering the old city centre with its many fine churches and historic medieval architecture. Not only are there a number of first-rate places to stay here, I'm partial to the Mercure Salisbury White Hart Hotel for its central location and 4-star quality and cleanliness, but great little intimate eateries like the Cozy Club on Crane Street. The food here is home-cooked, locally sourced, tasty, and served in an extremely patriotic British setting. Number 5. Royal Windsor. The historic town of Windsor, conveniently located a short train ride west of central London, offers plenty of fun attractions for tourists. In addition to its lovely Thames side setting and the many medieval half-timbered buildings along its quaint old cobblestone laneways, it's also home to spectacular Windsor Castle, the most famous of the UK's royal castles. This grand old castle has served as the summer residence of British royalty for more than a millennium. It was started by William the Conqueror in 1078 and is the world's largest inhabited castle. Highlights include the splendid state apartments containing the Queen's Gallery and Dining Hall, each with magnificently painted ceilings and wood carvings, and St. George's Chapel, famous as the home of the knights and ladies of the ancient Order of the Garter. When you've had your fill of these historic buildings, be sure to also spend time exploring the castle's large and beautiful grounds, almost 10 kilometers long. You'll enjoy some truly memorable panoramic views over Windsor and its castle, and a number of picnic areas, some with barbecue grills, are available if you want to stop a while. Traveling with kids. Another area attraction worth visiting is Legoland Windsor. This fun family resort, set on 150 acres of parkland and just a short bus ride from Windsor town centre, even boasts a modern Lego-themed hotel if you're looking to make a weekend of it. Also worth seeing is Royal Ascot, the UK's most famous horse racing venue. While you might want to try to time your trip to coincide with the royal meeting held each June, you'll find yourself fighting off in huge crowds, all dressed to the nines. Here for what is after all one of the most important events on the country's social calendar. Number 6. Idyllic England. The Cotswolds, covering almost 1,287 square kilometers of charming countryside. The beautiful Cotswolds is undoubtedly one of the most photographed corners of England. Its unrivaled pastoral scenery has earned it a reputation as one of the most beautiful places in the UK, ranking highly on many a traveller's bucket list. Easy to get to from London and close to the popular tourist attractions of Bath and Bristol, the Cotswolds includes some of the best parts of the counties of Oxfordshire, Gloucestershire, Somerset, Wiltshire, Warwickshire, and Worcestershire. Why visit? Well, if you're anything like me, you're here to experience a true taste of rural English life and explore its many quaint villages. You'll want to include the idyllic village of Bourton on the Water on your Cotswolds itinerary. Nicknamed the Venice of the Cotswolds, this popular vacation spot boasts a charming river setting and countless well-preserved cottages. Canterbury. Number 7. The magical Lake District, located in the northeast of England not far from the border with Scotland. The spectacular Lake District in Cumbria covers an area of 1,448 square kilometres. Not only is it considered one of the most magical places to visit in the UK for its beautiful scenery, its reputation as a place of romance and great culture will forever be associated with its most famous former resident, Beatrix Potter. It was Potter who, in fact, led the way with the conservation efforts that have preserved so much of the Lake District when she bequeathed her estate to the National Trust. Her one-time home near Surrey Hill Top, Canaan, should be visited for its exhibits and artifacts. Her legacy also set the stage for the establishment of Lake District National Park, encompassing 12 of the country's largest lakes, including Windermere and Ullswater, the two biggest and best known. Number 8. Medieval York and its Minster, one of northern England's most popular tourist destinations. The medieval city of York, long the ecclesiastical capital of the Church of England, boasts one of the country's most magnificent cathedrals. The country's largest medieval church, York Minster, can trace its roots back to the spread of Christianity in the 3rd century, although the splendid present Gothic structure was built almost 1,000 years later. One of the best ways to get to see this historic landmark is via an official guided tour. I recommend you book in advance and spend a little time reviewing the available choices to find one best suited to your interests. I opted for the fascinating tower trip option, a little more expensive but well worth the cost for the magnificent city views. Number 9. The university towns of Cambridge and Oxford. The UK has long been a centre of learning, with two of its most famous university towns also ranking highly as tourist destinations. An easy commute north of London and just 128 kilometres apart, Cambridge and Oxford have for centuries been rivals for the title of the country's top academic establishment, a rivalry celebrated during the famous rowing event, the Boat Race, which takes place each spring on the River Thames. Despite this generally good-spirited rivalry, each location offers plenty of attractions to make them worthwhile additions to your UK travel itinerary. Highlights of a visit to Cambridge include the chance to wander the UK's largest collection of preserved historic buildings, many of them located within an easy walk of Cambridge University's 31 colleges, the oldest of which was founded in 1284. And lastly, number 10. England's pilgrimage city, Canterbury. Pay a visit to historic Canterbury in Kent, and you'll soon discover why this beautiful city continues to be such a draw for visitors to the UK. An easy hour's train ride from central London, Canterbury has been a draw for visitors for centuries. The first visitors were religious pilgrims who have in fact been visiting for more than 1,500 years, ever since St. Augustine first started converting pagan Anglo-Saxons to Christianity here in AD 597. Afterward, be sure to spend time wandering the pedestrianised area of Old City Canterbury with its many preserved, historic timber-framed buildings, particularly along Mussery Lane. Be sure to include the excellent Canterbury Roman Museum on your itinerary. It was built around the remains of an original Roman townhouse and its unique mosaic. And that is it, guys. This is the video top 10 best places to visit in the UK. Hope you all like this video, and please don't forget to smash that like button. And you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you will be updated on my next video upload. This is why the fact not see you all on my next video. Thank you for watching.